Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Brian from BG90 Day. What I'd like to do is go over some very basic low-intensity type exercises that may help alleviate some back pain. Okay, nowadays, think about it, a lot of our jobs, we're at desks and we're seated for extended periods of time. If the hips start getting tight and we're sitting in that same position throughout the course of the day for longer periods of time, your back's probably going to start hurting. Okay, so let's go over some basic things with very minimal equipment that could hopefully help alleviate some of that back pain over time. All right, so I'm going to grab a mat. We'll do some 90-90 windshield wiper type stretches, and then just a couple of things to activate the glutes out of a couple different positions. All right, so once again, very basic stuff. The only piece of equipment I'll be using is a band. Okay, and that, if you don't have one, you don't even need the band necessarily. It just might make it a little bit better. It'll be an add-on to one of our exercises. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. This should only take a few minutes. All right, so I'm going to grab a mat here. I'll tilt this down a little bit just so we can see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into, we'll start this way. So my knees are bent, my heels are on the ground. Okay, all I'm going to start doing is trying to get my shins on the ground. Okay, so you'll feel the core kind of engage here. I'm just going to kind of shift my body weight from side to side. Okay, now this may be difficult for you to do when you start, so a good regression would be to simply put your hands on the ground. Okay, put your hands on the ground. Okay. Another good cue is think sternum down towards the inside of your knee. And what we're trying to do is get that a little bit closer each time. And as we go through, we can start holding it and pulsing an extra couple of times. Okay, so we're kind of trying to promote some blood flow, but also work on stretching that fascia around our hip complex out a bit. If that's really tight, it's going to start pulling on everything, and you're going to find yourself in that suboptimal position. And then that's where your body kind of stays, and then we start experiencing discomfort all around the area. Okay, so I'm just slowly pushing down a little bit further each time. Okay, and then if I can do it without using my hands, that's a good way to engage your core a little bit if you're looking to train the abs ever so slightly. Okay, so just this basic Shinbox windshield wiper, you should feel that on the outside of your hips. Okay, so I would run that for 45 seconds to a minute. From there, I would change positions, and what we're trying to do now is just get the glute to fire. Okay, so this is pretty simple. Okay, but also very easy to do incorrectly. All right, so what we don't want to do is get into this this half kneeling position and just kind of like rock around. Okay, this isn't really going to do anything. This could actually aggravate your low back. So what we want to do is kind of push our hips back, and then without throwing our head back, we want to initiate the movement with our glute. So just think, I want to squeeze my right glute and kneel up tall. Squeeze. Back. Squeeze. All right, so we're looking to do a couple of things here with this very basic movement. Is one, we want to teach the glute how to work. Normally when your back hurts, you have weak glutes. Okay, and then the other thing we're doing is we're getting our hip into extension. Okay, if you think about it, if we are seated in a chair all day long, think about what that's doing to our hips. Our hips are kind of shortening. Okay, our upper back is rounding. Not the greatest position to be in for 8 to 10 hours a day. All right, so what we want to do is get this hip flexor into full extension, and we want to get the glute to learn how to squeeze. Okay. All right, I'm not initiating the movement by throwing my head back. I'm not looking to use my upper back, or I'm not trying to stick my sternum out to get this into extension. I kind of want to relax my upper body, and this is driving the bus here. Squeeze the glute. Hip and extension, relax. Squeeze the glute, hip is in full extension, relax. Okay, same thing on the other side. Okay, I'm going to kind of like half hinge back, put my rib cage on the top of my quad, and I'm going to try to squeeze this glute. I'm going to kneel up tall, feel that squeeze, get this into extension. Okay, now once you do maybe 10 reps on each side, I change positions again, similar concept. We're just going to change positions and go off 2 feet. You might feel this one a little bit more. All right, so feet are going to be flat on the ground here. Okay, super basic hip lift. Focus on squeezing the glutes. Hips are neutral. Okay, now be careful on this one. What we don't want to do, similar to our single leg when we're kneeling, we don't want to arch our back. Okay, get these things like overextended. Okay, we don't need to do that. Just focus on squeezing the glutes. Push your feet down, squeeze the glutes. We want to cover our foot over the entire ground. So I'm pushing my toes down, but also I have pressure in my heels as well. Okay, so I'll feel a little bit in the hamstrings, but really what I'm trying to do is squeeze those glutes. Okay, now if I want to recruit some more muscles, I can add my band now, right above my knees. This is a very light band. Okay, I'm going to push my knees out slightly as I hip lift. And I'm kind of getting all those muscles like I would on a squat. Okay, a little tension in the core. Push the feet down. Drive the knees out ever so slightly. And we're building all these muscles and just training our hips to get into a healthier position. Just hold in for a second or two at the top. Okay? Not something super intense, not a routine that's going to take you very long. Okay? If we did that, if you ran that maybe 3 times, doing like sets of 10, you're looking at probably under 10 minutes. Okay? You could do this, in your office at work. Okay? It'd be pretty easy to take a 10-minute break, run through a few of these things. If you have a band, great. If you don't, it's not the end of the world. It can still be very beneficial for you. So hopefully this stuff makes sense. If you have any questions, make sure you hunt me down on social media. You can obviously find me on YouTube. Brian G, I believe is my handle here. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, at BG90Day. Okay, across the board. All right, so thanks for watching. Like I said, I hope you found this beneficial. And if your back or hips are bothering you, I hope they start to feel better soon. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.